What's up, everybody? It's Super High Titan here, back with the Vapor Podcast, and we have a very special guest today. But first, Super High Titan here, like I said, and then my co-host Zorak.
What's up? What's up?
And then we have a very special guest today. Every guest is a special guest, but like I really forget to say it every time for some reason because I'm an asshole. Anyway, our special guest today is VaporKitteh. Wait, how do I say it? Because I've like always said kitty, and I'm like, it's like Kitteh, and I'm like, I don't want to sound dumb.
It's either kitty, Kitteh. VaporKitteh rolls off the tongue better, so we can go with that.
Right. Before we get into this, I just want to say shout out to you because you were like the first person who bought like all of my albums, or like a good 90% of them.
Really?
When I started my own Bandcamp up and I started posting my own stuff on there, when I got it, like when I was just like, all right, I'll just start posting my own stuff. You were like the first person to buy everything, or buy most of the stuff that was up. So, that was just really good for me. So, just want to ask, how are you?
I'm good. Yeah, I had kind of crazy day at work and just living the lockdown life like most of us hopefully are. Yeah. If you're not locked down, you either live in a country where stuff's under control or, you're making some choices I don't agree with.
And you're not wearing a mask. Yeah. Man, this whole climate, I don't like getting into Corona, but, this whole climate is just messed up.
Yeah.
But
well, I mean, it touches everyone, so
yeah, I think honestly, before we get on to the questions, like I just want to say, like, if it wasn't for like quarantine, I don't even know if I'd be in here, like even doing this. Like, I don't even know if I would have met Zoro, and I don't know if I would have even met like anybody that I'm talking to right now. So I just want to say, hey, quarantine sucks, but at least I got something out of it.
That's what I tell myself too.
Yeah, so first question, just to top it off, what first got you into music?
I mean, as a fan, I've always loved music. I've always loved listening to music. I would say I got into music originally when my sister gave me a burned Linkin Park CD in 2000, whatever. But hey, but before in terms of making music, I mean, Crockwave, October 2019. That was my first attempt at ever making music.
Yeah, definitely. I noticed though, like, you have a lot of really good projects though, under your belt. Like,
you got a full selection of music.
Yeah,
it's the quarantine.
It's definitely the
quarantine. If you look at the dates, it makes sense.
I got more productive around like when we made the first group chat, the first Hollow Dreams group chat. That's when I started getting productive, and then I started making like album after album after album after, like, and it kind of just got out of hand after a while,
You got time.
Yeah.
All right. So let's more specific question. What first got you into ocean grunge, or like what drew you in to the genre?
What drew me in? I have to say, I discovered vaporwave in general through the old Frank Javc videos on YouTube. My boyfriend showed me those, and I was like, what is this bizarre content? I really like it. I don't understand yet, but I want to.
Right.
And I saw the ocean grunge video, and I thought that was super rad. And I put that kind of in like the back of my brain for a few years, and I sample that video in one of the tracks. I think which one is it that called? Grunge is Dead track.
Grunge is Dead.
Yeah, you can hear a sample from that video, and I like DM'd Frank and was like, "This is weird. Can I sample your video?" And he was like, "Yeah, sure."
I bet he was used to it at that point. Frank's been through everything.
Wanted to like have like a conversation with him because he's such a polarizing figure, especially in his videos. Like, to me, he's just so polarizing and just out there. Like, and for some reason, I love that. I just love out there figures.
He's out there. I think he's really musically talented.
He's so
I think
talented.
because his content gets kind of wacky a lot of the time. That gets lost, and I don't think he's a huge talker, you know. And I didn't have like a long conversation. I was just like, "Can I do this?" And he was like, "Yes." That was it.
I've seen people, you know, call his videos cringe, and it's just like, this is pretty funny. Like, I don't know what you're on about. This is hilarious. Like, but I could see people not taking him serious. But it's just like he's funny and he makes good music at the end of the day. That's just my personal opinion.
Everyone's got a different sense of humor, you know.
Yeah,
I didn't know that Frank made an Ocean Crunch video. I think I first learned Ocean Crunch because of Pad's video.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know he made one.
I learned
Pad's video is very similar. There are a number of the old school Frank Javc stuff is a lot like some of the Pad stuff because they talk about such similar topics.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. They literally do. That's one of the reasons why I really like just Pad in general. He expands on the topic, not as much as others, sometimes more, but I really like that he can expand on the topic and make you think something. Like the simplest thing, you're like, oh wow, that's crazy. So what type of sound?
Do you want me to get this one?
Sure, you could have that one. Never mind, you can have it.
I was just asking you.
Yeah, you have it.
Specific question to your next album. I think it's going to be on Water's End. Am I correct on that? Sleep Paralysis.
Yeah, Sleep Paralysis will be on Water's End.
You know, because I don't think we haven't heard a sneak peek yet or anything. What type of sound are you going for? What's the difference between this and Life Fest? You know, what's the plan?
Yeah, I with Life Fest, I started using live streams as kind of like artificial deadlines to put out new content. So any live stream I've been on, and let's say we'll probably ever be on, will be new content. Mm-hmm. So I was invited to be on the Private Suite Waves live stream, and I needed a set. And I thought about like, what have I not done? What do I like? What inspires me? I'm not a musician TM. I can't play an instrument. I don't know what pitch is. I can't read sheet music. You know, I kind of know what mixing and mastering are, kind of, but like, come on.
It's kind of funny. Like, I can read sheet music, but I can't, like, unless it's like euphonium, I can't play it because I'm just like, oh, that looks confusing, so I'm just not gonna do it. Like,
yeah.
Dude, I was a meme account that sort of made tracks because it was funny. Because I was like, oh, I'm good at using software, so that ties into my professional job. So let's like just do this for fun, see what happens, put it on the internet, and then people liked it, and then they started talking to me, asking me to make albums. It was really weird but flattering. And now I take it way more seriously than I ever thought I would without taking it seriously. You know.
Yeah, I really like that. I like that premise, you know, just not taking something serious, and then, you know, it kind of becomes a real thing for you. Because in all honesty, that's what Vaporwave was to me. I'm listening to it, I'm like, what? This is stupid. And then, like, you know, you kind of you get more serious, and you get more involved, and you want to be more in tune with the artists that make it, or you want to be an artist that makes it. That's what it is for me. I like to get into people's heads about the stuff that they make, because it's just so interesting to see someone's creative process. My creative process is just like, oh, I make albums like once every day, or I try to.
Right.
Hey,
turnaround time isn't everything.
I haven't gotten lazy, but I've just gotten like, it's really hard for me to find samples now as it was in the beginning. Like, now it's, for me, it's really hard. So,
but the question was actually the question I didn't actually answer.
Yeah.
I'm trying to keep track. I love going off topic. It's really fun.
Me
but
too.
The sleep paralysis. What's the sound? What the hell? So similar to Life Fest and the album I released after Life Fest. Sleep Paralysis was an album made specifically for the Private Suite live stream. It is my interpretation of a dream punk album.
Right.
When I'm a newcomer to genres, I don't want to like tell people like, "Ooh, this is dream punk" or "this isn't." But like, it's what I think is my version of a dream punk album. Right. It is all sample based because we've been over this. I'm not a musician. I can't compose. I have like this MIDI keyboard I'm too afraid to figure out how to use.
Yep.
So it's all samples. it's really fun. All the samples I use are meaningful to me in some way. They're from media that I've enjoyed when I was younger or even recently, and it takes you on an adventure. It's pretty trippy. Sleep Paralysis is a pretty trippy soundscape type album, which is not different. It's different from the others I've produced, but it's not like shockingly different.
Definitely.
I would say really different is Death Touch, the synthwave type little project I put out. That's pretty different.
We do have a Death Touch question coming up.
Oh man, so that was literally the next question. What is the difference between the Elias's VaporKitteh
what's the next question?
And Death Touch?
What was different about the album or the process?
Just the Elias's and like the process
aliases.
as well. Sorry, I say everything wrong.
Aliases?
Don't correct me. Aliases.
No, you can say however you want.
What's the difference between the aliases of VaporKitteh and Death Touch?
So Death Touch wasn't intended to be an alias, but the person who runs Civic Duty Records, which is this really cool label that's starting up again. So both Water's End and Civic Duty are labels that have existed, but they're coming back. And they're coming back with releases from me, which I think is really, like, I didn't plan any of this. They just reached out to me, and I thought that was great. I like the idea of me as like a small amateur, like joining hands with a small label that's coming back, and we can both see where that goes. But I asked the label person for Civic Duty asked to write some copy for Death Touch, and I said, run with it. I don't know. I don't write marketing copy. Just hit me. Right. And he came back with that, where Death Touch is like, I and the album are inseparable. Like, I am Death Touch. I really liked it. So I've never intended it to be an alias, but I think it was taken that way, and I don't dislike it. I might run with it. I might like make synthwave stuff under Death Touch and vaporwave, slush wave under VaporKitteh.
I've always wanted to dabble in synthwave. I don't really have that. Like, I don't have an idea of what I want to make, so I kind of just stray away from it. It's just I wanted to do synthwave as like when I first made the what's it called, the Attack on Buffalo City. The idea of it was like, oh, make synthwave, and I'm like, I don't know how to do that, so let me just make something completely different than what I intended.
Synthwave is hard, from what I know. It's a lot of work.
Yeah, it does seem like a lot of work, so I'm gonna stay away from it until I know 100% that I'm ready to get into that. There's a lot more work than vaporwave.
Don't force it. I will say there is such a wealth of royalty-free synthwave samples you can play with. That's what I noticed. Like, I get a lot of samples from Looperman.
Same. It doesn't.
When I go on the synthwave ones, they have so many. All of them have so many downloads on them. Right. So, that album was fun to make. The idea was I would sample like 4 martial arts kung fu type movies that were really important to me, and blend them with synthwave, because why not? My brain said so, and that's what I'm gonna do. The movies it samples are the original Karate Kid. In the first track, the guy, he screams, "Get him a body bag," and it's like so iconic. And then the second track is from Bloodsport. I only saw Bloodsport recently. I was on this 80s movie kick, and my boyfriend's like, you need to see this Jean-Claude Van Damme movie called Bloodsport. It's ridiculous. And I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna like it. I love it.
I am a huge 80s person, so I like hearing shit like that. I'm not even from the fucking 80s, but I love like watching 80s movies and just getting that kind of taste, and like watching some of the commercials and some of the stuff that was around at the time, and it kind of just like, it's kind of like, wow, this is like the world before I was born. Neat.
Yeah.
And then
I remember like the tail end of the 80s, because I think I'm a teeny bit older than you guys, but I'm under 30, but I'm older than you guys. I'll put it that way.
I remember.
That's for sure.
I remember us talking about it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You're youngin', and
we are youngin'.
Like, I remember a lot of that 80s like neon leotard stuff still being around when I was a kid, and I would wear these like weird hand-me-downs, and I'm like, this is so dorky, I don't like it. Or like in the early 2000s, I had my like 90s clothes, and I was like, no, I want the low-rise jeans. And now looking back on it, it's like, man, the 90s stuff slapped in hindsight.
Yeah.
But when you're a kid, when you're a kid,
I feel like if I pulled up to school though, like everybody, I'm like, yo, what's up, guys? Why are you wearing that? I'm like, what are you talking about? This is my drip. They're like, no, take that off. I'll be like, okay.
Oh. Just don't say anything, and you'll be a trendsetter. I don't know. Young people are all over the place.
Like, why is he wearing those old clothes? I'm like, shut up. You'll be all right.
Because it's thrifty, and
it really is.
Why not? And
thrifting
environmentally
is something
conscious.
I've always wanted to do. I've always wanted to go thrifting. I just never had any money yet.
Ooh, we can talk about thrifting later. I'm like the queen of online thrifting. But track 3 on Death Touch. The sample in track 3 of Death Touch is from Kill Bill, because I actually love the 2 Kill Bill movies. They're just fun and gory, and I like Tarantino movies in general. Yeah. I know not everyone likes Tarantino, but
understandable.
I don't know.
But
they have a place in my heart, just standalone movies. And then the last track samples Enter the Dragon, the Bruce Lee movie from the 70s.
Yeah.
It was his like I think it's his breakout role. It was also
that was his biggest movie.
It was, and they had like the African American character in it who like had a role and was like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, yes, and he was like a full-on character. It wasn't some like horrible stereotype. So that movie was really important. Like,
I love
for
movies like
history.
that. Yeah, I definitely love movies like that have like a black character that's not really just that you don't push off to the side. He's kind of he's got an important role, you know.
Yeah, that's got a backstory and motivations. Like like an entire person.
Yeah,
like it's not that hard.
I got the next question. All right, who would you most like to collaborate with? It's a hard one. There's a lot of choices, but
I'm trying to be like, who do I want to collab with that I haven't already talked about? I would say my boy Trapes from the UK. I'm sorry if I have butchered your artist name.
I know you're talking about. Yeah.
Trapes? God, I don't know how to actually say it. Like a lot of these vaporwave things, I read them and I say them in my head, and I'm not speaking to people.
Trapeze, I think.
I thought that was trapeze. It might be.
Is it trapeze? Am I just a cabbage? I don't know. Anyway.
Am I just a cabbage? Macintosh Plus plays in the background.
I don't know. But yeah, I think his stuff is really cool. I think we vibe. Definitely. We talked about potentially collaborating, so I think that's the top of my list.
I can definitely see that. I think that would.
Okay,
awesome.
Y'all can't say anything because we're on air, but do you, VaporKitteh, Zoro knows, but VaporKitteh, do you remember who I told you who I was collabing with soon?
Oh, you can't say it on air yet?
Yeah, I can't say it on the air yet. It's not happening.
I do, and it's really exciting. I'm not gonna out your secrets.
Yeah, I can't out my secrets either until they're fully ready, until I get back to them with the tracks.
Something just fell.
But yeah, it's I like the feeling of collabing with people and them actually saying yes. It's a good feeling because people are like, yeah, I'd love to collab with you. I hate when people are like, oh man, I'm too busy, and it's like, damn it, I really wanted to collab with you. That's no shade at anybody, by the way. It
happens. Yeah. And and maybe in time they'll like loop back around and you can collab when they're less busy. I always wonder if people are just say that to be polite sometimes. Like, how busy are you?
Right. I don't ever
Titan and VaporKitteh collab.
Hey. Yeah, I would love to do. I'd be down to do a collab. Probably wouldn't be Vapor Trap because I'm burnt out on that.
I could definitely see some sort of like classic Vapor mixed with some ocean grunge or something.
Yeah,
something like I'm crazy.
Hey, look. After this podcast, I'm definitely down.
Ooh, let's go. Hype. Good.
Break barriers. Make whatever you want.
Yeah, definitely.
No one knows what vaporwave is. Like, if vaporwave was just slowed down 80s music, half of what we consider vaporwave wouldn't really fly.
Like
vaporwave is like a feeling or a memory, more than something specific for me.
I feel like vaporwave is more of a false memory. The aesthetic, I feel like
false memory.
Macintosh Plus, like the album cover, kind of just reminds me of a false memory that I had. like something that I don't really remember, like the album and the music. Like,
yeah, but your brain just generated it from pieces of memories, which happens. Like that's what dreams are basically. It's your
pretty much
some parts of your cortex randomly firing when you sleep.
Yeah, definitely.
Part of it.
Like late night delight as well. You know, you kind of see the Mac Tonight figure just standing there, and it's kind of like, oh wow, that's a thing.
It's like, why is that in my brain? But here we are.
That's in my brain for no
reason. Me and the moon guy.
Yeah, the moon man.
Why do I suddenly want a Big Mac?
I wonder. So another question. I love getting off topic. I love just getting off topic. Zoro doesn't let me sometimes.
Well, no. You can go ahead and go off topic. I'm talking about
questions. And then if we run out of questions, we can blather on.
Oh, definitely. So what do you think the most useless talent you have is?
Knitting. I'm pretty good at knitting.
That's not useless.
That's not useless. That could be used for something.
You can buy better scarves. I don't know. I knit fast and I knit consistently. It's super weird. I don't know why I'm good at it.
You do seem like the type to knit. Like, after seeing your face and then hearing your voice, you are the type of person to knit. I don't know why. That sounds really bad and stereotypical.
Yeah, that did not sound like a compliment.
No, I used to do it more. I don't really do it now because I've got just other things to do. But like growing up, I was like super not coordinated. Like, being coordinated was like not my thing.
I'm not
when I was younger.
Now.
When I saw my mom knitting, and I thought that was cool when I was in like middle school. So she taught me, and she was like shocked. She's like, "Dude, that's really like straight. Like the edges are straight, the loops are consistent. Knitting's hard, dude." And for some reason, I'm specifically good at that, which has added no value to my life other than having maybe like one scarf and a weird story to tell.
Yeah. Can I hear that story?
You're hearing it right now, how like knitting is just like what I'm oddly good at.
Another story on top of that one that just went crazy. I'm like, oh God.
I have useful talents, not so many useless ones. Most things you learn in life are actually pretty useful. I don't care what people say about geometry.
Yeah.
That comes up.
You know, I want to try new things on the podcast. So like, I feel like we should try to like answer the questions as well. I don't know. That's just
sure.
Me. I mean,
what are your guys' useless abilities or talents?
Useless.
Writing music. Cause like I never use it. Like every day, like I write something. Like I write a new song, and then I'm just like, huh. Okay, and then just throw it away. Or writing. It used to be writing poetry. I never used to do anything with it. I just kind of sat there and looked at it like, oh, I can do that. That's a thing I can do. See, they don't seem useless, but they're pretty useless. Like, because I don't do it as much.
You can make someone feel a way with music and poetry.
No lie there. How about you, Zoro?
I don't know if I have a youth talent. It's a hard one. Yeah. I mean, I'm not telling that story. Yeah, I'm just not telling that story.
Oh, no.
No, I'm just not. Not telling that story on here.
I'm scared. I'm scared for
what
it might be.
I don't know what you think it is, but it's not what you think.
I don't know what it is, but I just...
I'm moving on and pretending like I didn't say anything. I'm sorry, I'm just... Nah. What would you be doing right now if it wasn't for your music career? Hard question.
Inhale sharply. I don't know. Maybe I'd be working. Maybe I'd be like watering my plants. I've got potatoes growing outside, which is pretty cool. I don't know. I have a lot of hobbies. Let's be clear. I'd probably be watching like 80s movies or doing my potatoes or listening to my record collection or writing. I have so many like writing projects I haven't done. Sorry, Private Suite, for all the stuff I've pitched you and then just like not written, and then I released four albums and then they're like, Kitty, what is going on?
You're busy. Keeping quarantine busy. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
That's what you got to do, man. Like, you got to find something that kind of just that fits you for the moment. Like every day I figure out something new that I might like for some reason. Or I get back into an old interest that I liked, and I was just kind of like, oh, well, now I have this in my life. Now I can do whatever I want. You know, and it feels good to have something that you're watching or you can listen to or you can do. Sometimes, and I hate admitting this, but I listen to my own music sometimes because I feel secure listening to my own music for some reason.
I listen to my own music. My music is like the way I hear music in my head. Like when I remember what things sound like, it sounds kind of like my music, and it's good to get as deep as you can and do as many like hobbies or whatever you can
definitely
as possible. Because like I am a little older than you guys, so I'll tell you one thing: when life goes like sideways and like work is kind of being ridiculous and like your family's mad at you and your friends mad at you and like you destroy something in your kitchen, you're just like, my God. Yeah. At least sometimes you can like listen to your music and be like, I made that, and a couple people like it, and I feel good. And it just helps keep your head on straight when everything else goes, as it does occasionally, sideways.
Yeah, I do that a lot. I really do. Like I kind of just look back, especially albums like Palm City 1, kind of just look back and reflect and go, man, I made that. I can do that. And then it's kind of like that makes me happy that I can do that, and it makes me feel more adequate, and like just knowing that people will go, hey, he has really nice music, and I'm like, yeah, I do, thank you.
A lot of confidence is just feeling capable. Like when things go bad, you feel sometimes so incapable, and that's a crap feeling. So
it really is. Yeah. So what has been your favorite live show you've done, and why?
That I've done?
Yeah.
You've been a part of. Like,
well, I've only been a part of 2. I was on the Dream Museum stream.
One more than me.
And on the Holojam stream. I don't know. I've only done 2. It feels rude to pick one because there was a technical difficulty on the Dream Museum one that was a little stressful. We figured it out. I know. I was in constant contact with the label and the other artists. So I was like, we're going to figure this out. Yeah. And I would probably say the Holojamming Festival one was my favorite because it was Ocean Grunge. And
I remember when my internet
I was excited I was excited to do the first Ocean. As far as I know, if someone knows of an Ocean Grunge stream that has happened prior to my set, let me know because I want to watch the recording because I love the genre so much.
That was like such a mesmerizing set. Like
it was so fun.
Like close to the marine layer. Like both of them were just so like an out of body experience. It was
it was cool
crazy.
Though. It was like right when I got back too, because like my internet was off, and like I hopped in the chat and everybody's like, "Yo, Titan," and I'm listening to this glorious, beautiful Ocean Grunge, and I'm just happy because my internet's back and I get to talk to everybody and I get to listen to this set, like I was saying. So it was like a really good experience for me at least. And I really enjoyed it.
It makes me so happy to hear that even one person listened to that stream and was like, this is positive.
Like 7 people in there.
Yeah, man.
60 to 50, there's a bunch of people in there.
I love that stream though. Like I loved being in that stream.
Yeah, that was a fun experience.
Like
definitely was.
Even though I didn't even get to see the reaction to my set, like at the time, like I saw it later on and it didn't have as much feeling as it did. But like when I rewatched it still felt good. But when Zoro was sending me like the chat and stuff, I was like, yes.
Yeah. His internet wasn't working, so I DM'd him videos of what the chat was reacting to his songs. I mean, it worked. Chat was going pretty crazy though.
Yeah,
I
was happy. Believe you me, I was happy that day. So what is your favorite song to perform? Or if you have one, do you have a favorite song to perform?
Perform is such a loose word.
I know.
Yeah.
That's why
I probably should.
My sets are pre-recorded.
Yeah.
I count performance.
I like the ones with like the trap beats because they get people excited.
I do
like they're the parts of the stream where you're really paying attention.
Yeah, definitely.
So of the 2 streams I've done, I think the one that I'm most proud of is from the Dream Museum stream. There's a track called Insight, which was playing a little. It's like it was like the 5th track in that stream, and it's like this really simple, like trappy kind of crystalline like beat, and that one was fun because it was paired really well with its fractal. I think people were into it.
Yeah, that's
and
it.
One day, if I were to learn how to DJ, I would mix that into something cool
Same
and just
here.
spring it on people in the middle of a set.
Man, I was kind of happy though, like to see my set get mastered and mixed by Stay in School. Shout out to him, shameless plug to him. But he's really good at mixing and mastering and DJing. And when he did the DJ mix, it was kind of hype. I was like, oh shit, okay. Like even I was shocked. I'm like, I didn't do that. That was him. Like that was fully him. Like,
yeah.
But he, just that whole thing was just great. And I'm glad that I could be a part of it with you guys, like all three of you. Or not all three. Both of you.
I mean, I was at the set. I played an after party set.
Well, I mean, I'm just meaning like in the chat or just around you guys. You know what I mean? Like just like being able to talk to everybody.
Yeah, I mean that was a fun day, and whole Jammin' 2's coming soon. I mean,
yeah, and No Clout Festival's coming soon as well. I don't think I'm supposed to announce that, but that's cool.
All right.
Well, no, they made the announcement on Twitter. I'm good. I'm
cool. Which famous musicians do you admire? Famous or Vapor famous, either or.
Famous Vapor famous musicians do I admire? So many. I mean, because I've been a big music fan for many years before I ever considered making music. Vapor musicians, like, my gosh, I don't have anything that's not a cliche. Like,
I guess maybe like inspirations instead of like like.
Hey, it can be cliche.
That word better.
My top 4 albums are pretty cliche.
It's okay. Yeah, everyone's are. What musicians do I admire? I feel like I admire small musicians a lot. Like, in Rail.
Yeah.
The guy on holograms, like he's like a kid, I think, and he just puts out these absolute bangers that are really, really impressive.
I tell everybody, like, please listen to Rail over me.
I respect it. Like, he's gonna be a big name soon.
Yeah, I mean, he's playing at Pad Chennington's new.
He's there. He's arrived. I haven't even looked at the new Pad Chennington lineup. So
next to like Towers and.
I think he does really cool things with sounds.
Yeah.
I mean, we all do.
My cringy one is HKE. I think he's just a big character. Let's leave it at that. He's really talented, and Dragon Soul's one of my favorite albums. The person and his style of communicating side. I think that album is just so weird and interesting. And
the Dream Catalog is just Dream Catalog. I don't even have anything to add to that. It's just so out there. Yeah, I totally get that.
Yeah, they saw a niche, they worked hard, they filled it, and
I guess it's just a like off the brain question. Do you have any like ocean grunge influences, like artists from ocean grunge that you admire up to or anything, or?
There is more ocean grunge out there than people think. I really like the Poseidon and Chains albums. Sea of Dogs. I think half of ocean grunge is Sea of Dogs, but they're great.
Yeah, man, I gotta check out more ocean grunge to keep it real with you. I hate when people come and talk to me about music on the podcast, and then like I know what they're talking about, but I'm like, damn, I really don't be listening to them like that. Like I listen to like a couple songs of certain people. Like not like people who come in a podcast to listen to all their music, but it's really like when they talk to me about other artists, I'm like, damn, I gotta listen to him. Like, cause sometimes I realize I'm so out of loop at times with the Vapor scene. Cause like I can just hop in you can hop in at any time. Yeah, you can hop into the meta and see who's like what genre's doing the best, and it's always good to just hear like what other people do that is either similar to what you do or just completely different. That's what it's like for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you want to hear more ocean grunge, just go check out my Bandcamp collection. I've bought a bunch.
Definitely.
And I think that, like all my recent purchases, I just bought like 30 ocean grunge albums. Just check them out, and from that you'll probably get some recommendations for similar artists and see what's out there.
VaporKitteh at Bandcamp. If you're looking for some ocean grunge, go there.
I think my collection's actually under Real VaporKitteh at Bandcamp.com. Yeah, VaporKitteh Bandcamp is my releases. Real VaporKitteh is my collection.
Okay, gotcha. I'll check it out after the pod is over. But yeah, I definitely like that.
That next one, yeah.
I'll take it. I'll take the next one.
Oh, all right, go for it, man.
Oh no, that's you. Never mind.
we like to order things out.
It's so funny how unprepared we are.
I am in suspense. Which of you is going to ask the question?
You never know. No, I'll ask it though. So maybe a too specific question. What is some advice you would give to other people trying to make ocean grunge or other ocean grunge artists?
Get lots of different ocean sound samples. Don't just use the same one over and over and over again.
That's pretty.
That's good concept.
I'm half joking, but if I had to make it ocean grunge specific, it would be like, take your crappy Nokia phone out to the ocean and record something. Get weird. Don't be afraid to get weird.
Yeah, that's a good idea. So before we go on to Twitter questions, what advice would you have for, just artists in general who want to start off and just who want to flourish in this community, or just in music in general?
I'm not the best source of advice for this, but
I know, but I just want to I want to know how would you better question. Sorry, if you were to start over, If you were to start over, do you how would you do it over again? How would you redo music over again?
What?
I'm trying to structure the question better.
I don't think I would do it over again. So I'm going to answer the first question because I don't think I would do it over again.
Fair enough.
The advice I would give people is know the scene before you just start launching music out there and feeling disappointed that no one's picking up on it. So I kind of lurked in the vaporwave community for months before I made Crockwave or started interacting with people. I just followed people, said their music, saw who's saying what the dynamics are. Just check out what you're getting yourself into.
Yeah, I totally agree. I had the same thing.
Yeah.
Be in the community before you.
I was definitely in the community, listening to every album I could, and then I said, I'm gonna go out and be this figure I've always wanted to be. Kind of just listen to everything I want to listen to, because that's just I love vaporwave though. It's pretty much gotten to the point where it's my life now.
It's a important part of my life, and the community really does bring people up. So that's why I'll see people put out an album which might even be decent, and then they get all disappointed that no one's into it, and they're hard on themselves. And then they do some dramatic tweets and disappear, and it's no one knows you, dude. And maybe your album's good, but when that's the only thing people see, it's not going to inspire them to lift up your album and start a conversation and meld you into the community. Yeah. So just know the community. Don't give up when the first album doesn't just launch you somewhere.
Right. And I've felt that feeling though before, just when I'm putting out an album, and I'm really thankful for the people who listen and just in general, but it sometimes feels wow, I want to get on a St. Pepsi level, or and then people aren't listening, and it's also a thing of you gotta promote yourself better. You have to. You gotta market yourself. I know marketing's this dirty corporate word, but especially with ocean grunge artists. I was on another podcast and they're like, "Oh, you're the only ocean grunge artist I've heard of." I'm I just don't think that the people who make ocean grunge are into promoting themselves. It's a personality thing. Yeah. For me, it's I got to, just because if I want people to listen, then I have to try my best, That's why I be on Twitter every other weekend talking about, hey, 700 followers, I'll drop this album, or 600 followers, I'll drop this album, because I knew that it's most of it's about promoting yourself. if you want to get bigger, I should say, it's pretty much just promote yourself. You'll get there. You know,
it is, and just like put out content, tweet if you're funny and or you have interesting thoughts, and don't stir stuff up. Like I don't consider like starting a controversy for engagement like good promotion. Like that's silly, and I see people try to do it, and it never.
I hate people who just start drama in this community as well.
You'll get attention for like 2 days.
I can't speak on it, but it's just I see it and I just look at it like, okay,
like cool. Shit happens. Like you're gonna have you're gonna step on toes. You're gonna have to apologize for something, hopefully privately at some point in the community. But yeah, like in terms of like marketing yourself, like I tweet almost constantly. It's like a stream of consciousness because I work on a computer all day. It's very easy for me to just tab over or dash off a tweet and then like get back to what I'm doing. I'm not online all the time. It seems like I am, and that was a big part of like growing a following and developing a voice. So yeah, I'm gonna add on to a previous answer I did. I would say when getting started, know the community. Develop a voice. Decide what you want your voice to sound like. Everyone has a voice. Skylar Spence has a voice when he tweets. It's consistent.
Yeah, he is.
Because he figured out what he's going to talk about, what he's not going to talk about, how he's going to phrase things, and goes for everyone.
He's such
Gulf
a
Audio Coast has a voice. They're fun.
Yeah, they're definitely fun as well.
Gulf Audio Company. Yeah.
Yeah.
GAC. I want to say gack. It's just a funny word.
Gack. Yeah. Ew. That sounds like
bad
Nickelodeon slime. Gack.
We have a Discord question. We have one single Discord question. If you want to go for it, Titan. And then we'll start Twitter questions.
This is from Hologems. How many different genres do you plan to have under your belt when it's all said and done?
That's a good question. I don't know. Just whatever I like. I make what?
Just whatever comes to mind.
Or just whatever I'm into at a given time. So what have I done so far? I made kind of like classic video VGM sampled glitchy vaporwave. That would be demo disc, and then the next one was like Vapor Trap. I would call Atlantis a Vapor Trap album.
Right. It was.
Then I went into Ocean Grunge, and then there was another album that was more just like ambient, not really vaporwave, not really vapor trap. It was like the in between genres album, and now I'm trying to make a dream punk album, and I'm planning another Ocean Grunge album. So just whatever is inspiring at a given time. Yeah, I tried a synthwave album. Will I do it again? Who knows? Who knows what genres don't exist. Like there could be a genre 2 years from now that I want, if I'm still doing this in 2 years, that I want to emulate and expand on, and I just don't know what it is yet. I don't know. So infinite. It could be infinite.
yeah, there's so many genres that you could try out. I think I've been in a lot more genres than I thought of. Rap, vapor rap, vapor trap. Classic vapor, and then what was the other one? Future funk. A little bit of just hip hop, lo-fi production.
Part of me wants to make like a new disco album.
Yeah,
that would be cool.
Like vaporwave blended with new disco, and
ocean disco.
Ocean disco.
I made it up, but that sounds kind of like
aquatic disco.
Aquatic disco. I think we just made up a new genre here on the VaporCast. You heard it first. When you hear Aqua Disco on the radio, it's because of us.
If someone would like to beat me to making an Aqua Disco album, please do it so I don't have to.
That would be crazy. I love that idea. Discoholic and VaporKitteh mashed together.
He's so funny, yeah. His content's cool.
He's cool, yeah. All right, got Twitter questions from the Twitter people. What inspired you to make your first song ever? And that's by Eventual Infinity.
Hello, Eventual Infinity. He was one of the first people to like be randomly nice to me when I was getting started. No, really. I think he was like the first person to ever retweet Crockwave. Wow. Something like that. So thank you. I remember. And what inspired me to make it. I mean, it was kind of I've touched on this before. It was kind of a joke. I was watching, as always, Frank Jeff C videos, and I was on the how to make vaporwave video, and he was like dragging his cursor around in Fruity Loops.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can do this.
Yeah.
Like, why can't I do this? There's no reason I can't do this. And I was already into vaporwave. I was familiar with vaporwave, and there's so much like Nintendo nostalgia. So I was a PlayStation person growing up. We had the original PlayStation, and we had this game called Croc, which was, I believe, the first 3D release on the original PlayStation. And I was like, does Crocwave exist? Like, tee-hee-hee, I'm Googling it. It didn't. And that seemed like a missed opportunity. So I opened up GarageBand. And I went to a YouTube Ripper and put a trap beat over a glitched out track from the secret level on Croc. Like I think it's not called the Crystal Island. I forgot what it's actually called. But yeah, that's when I made what was Crystal Island. That's the track's actual name, but I also called it Crocwave for the SEO.
I love that. Like stuff like a Photoshop company, they do that type of stuff. It's really interesting, cool to mesh vaporwave and video games because they kind of go hand in hand at times.
Yeah.
I could totally see a full Crocwave album on Photoshop. I think they would love that.
Same.
That's a thing that could happen. A full Crocwave album.
I like it. I like the idea. So this question comes from Marine Layer, that duo. Do you prefer low tide or high tide? I'm trying to figure out what the hell they're talking about. That's the funny part.
That's okay. I vibe with Marine Layer. We're pals.
I love them too. Yeah,
I'm good pals with half of Marine Layer. The other half I don't know as well, but they must be cool. And high tide, I don't know. I guess I like a challenge. I like the storm. I'm always busy. I'm always
like a challenge.
Occupied. So yeah, high tide.
High tide.
I can't swim well, but I float. So.
Yeah. All right. The next question here is by Black Neptune. I think that's right. What would you say is the album you've listened to the most of all time?
I quote tweeted this saying I have a disappointing answer.
I do want to know.
I'm gonna be honest. So the album I listened to, I think more than any other, I'm gonna explain why before people just groan and turn this podcast off. As Evanescence Has Fallen, I'm pretty sure is the album I've listened to out of any other, and that's because when that album was a thing, not only was I going through the goth phase that like everyone, I think like 60% of teenagers flirt with a goth phase at some point, and I was traveling with my family. It was like 2000 whatever, so streaming we were somewhere where like internet wasn't like things, so streaming, forget about getting on Yahoo Music and waiting for the ads to finish. So I had that on a CD, and I had like a couple other CDs, but for some reason I just kept going back to that one, and I listened to it on loop for like a summer. I know every single note album. It's ridiculous.
That's funny as shit. I don't know why, but that's really funny. This last wait, no, not the last question. Oops,
I have something like that too. I totally get that.
I think the album I listen to the most is Igor by Tyler, the Creator. I don't know why. Because
it's a good album?
That too, but like, it's just like I turn it on and I just like enter a new world, a new phase in life. So
it's not our final question. We have one more.
Yeah, I know. I was forgetting that. So this comes from Tabby. What is your favorite color?
Hello, Tabby. I've always liked, I don't know, I liked pink when I was a kid. I liked pink. I like rose gold a lot. I have my MacBook is rose gold. I've gotten really into like teal and turquoise lately.
Right. Yeah.
I think Tabby is like doing like it's just asking everyone favorite color because of the Q&A thing that's like going around, and everyone said purple. For some reason.
Is that a meme now? Is purple the meme?
Tabby was testing and seeing you say purple because I think like Second Sight and Mid-Class Comfy and like two other people said purple was their favorite color.
There are only so many colors.
Purple. You proved it wrong. Not everyone who loves vaporwave loves purple.
Rose gold or teal. Yeah, like I've dyed my hair a bunch of colors. It's the rose gold now, and it's going to be teal maybe in December.
That sounds dope.
Rose gold's nice.
Yeah, that sounds dope. Dyeing my hair soon.
I think we're at the final question here. Right, crazy. By You're Unspeakable. Go Unspeakable. Is there a common characteristic found in songs you like?
I believe they added, I can't just say that they're good.
Yes,
right?
That is something unspeakable added.
I like, in songs that I like, I don't know if there's a common element. I do have a playlist out that's like VK's Ambient Noise Cabal picks, which is like 10 to 20 tracks that happen to be what I'm listening to. It's on Spotify.
Right.
So I don't know. What do they have in common?
Yeah, it's a...
Their music.
I tend to like music that's a little darker. I like things with a good beat. Vocals are not so important to me. I really like, if I can find like an instrumental banger, I much prefer it over something with vocals for the most part.
Yeah, I get that. I like instrumentals. I like making instrumentals. Like sometimes if like a rap beat comes on, like I feel like the beat speaks more than the words that they're actually saying sometimes, because like the beats be so
the cadence.
good. Yeah, the cadence of the beat is just so good. So yeah, since our final question,
we actually have one more question.
Oh, we do.
We have one more question that I almost forgot about. Oh. My apologies to Windmill. Mm-hmm. There's two. I'm gonna go with this one though because we already asked the other one. How would you go about making album artwork? How does your album artwork making process work? I guess
some of my album artwork, I try to use photographs that I've taken.
Right.
And then I open up Photoshop and I start doing my layers. I like a faded look on album covers. Mm-hmm. Big into Times New Roman text apparently, because whenever I put text over an image, it's Times New Roman and I can't tell you why. And I like them to be simple, kind of minimalist and interesting.
Yeah.
So where did the idea for... Sorry to cut you off, Zora, but where did the idea for Atlantis come from?
I was gonna ask you, Atlantis' art, like that.
Yeah, that's like some Data Girl stuff right there.
So that was actually, I didn't make that album art. That was made by Zero Trashwave, if I'm saying his name correctly. Zero. Belgium's biggest vaporwave artist. Yeah, he's really cool. I always liked his renders, so I messaged him asking to make artwork for Atlantis. I did say I want some kind of like temple on it. Atlantis, that album does sample from a game called Atlantis The Lost Tales, I believe. It was like an early 2000s PC game. Right. So I sent him some like images from that game for inspiration. I was like, but I want it to be like this, but different, but darker, but vaporwavy. And he did an amazing job. Yeah. I love that. Yeah, that might be my favorite album cover I have.
I'm also going to ask about the artwork for Life Vest Located Undersea, because that art just... I want to know what went into the naming of that. I really do, because
That's just like a random image I found online. So if you look at it and if you spend a lot of time on planes, that's like that little placard that they put on the seats in economy class to let you know that your life vest is in fact under your seat. And the T was scratched off in the image, and I saved it to my phone because I just thought that was funny. I was like, I'm going to make a meme out of this or something. And then I was thinking about ocean grunge and going through the images on my phone. And I was like, Life Vest Located Under Sea. Haha, that's funny. And then I was like, wait a minute. This has strong ocean grunge potential. Right. And yeah, I put a blue filter over it, and I actually composited a couple of images to give it the texture of that album cover. It's not just an image with a blue filter. There's some more stuff in there. And yeah.
That photo is just...
I put the lens flare right on the end of C, and it made itself, really.
Yeah,
I didn't make it. It made itself.
I like it. I do like it. So I just want to say thanks for like coming on and asking to be on. We were really excited to have you on. Like, I mean, we did a lot of planning yesterday. We gotta stop doing that. We have got to stop planning a day in advance and just do it like a week beforehand. But You know, I'm really glad. It's more my fault than Zero's, believe me. But no, it was a pleasure having you on, and I'm really glad that you even agreed to it, and we really love you over here. You know, just on our side of things, and we liked having you around, especially in our group chat. I mean, you're like me, like we barely talked, which is sad because I'm the one who made the group chat, but still. It's just good to even talk to you and get a better feel of you. Pause. And it's just good to know everything about your music.
Yeah. Thank you, and I'm happy to like discuss my music with anyone who wants to chat about it. I want to hear about how everyone in the scene makes their music if they're willing to share it. I do a lot of screaming on my Twitter about sampling, and copyright is kind of an arbitrary, bizarre concept. And I think that like if more people talked about their production process openly, I feel like a lot of like new producers would feel so much more comfortable trying things. Because so many people are like, oh yeah, I get stuff off Looperman, and I don't know what mastering is. And it's just like, let's all just admit. Those of us that don't know, let's admit it. And those of us that do know, just let us know how you do it.
I literally put out the tweet.
Have a laugh and make good music, maybe.
I literally put out the tweet, artist confession. I meant to start a trend with that. I meant to like have people start telling me their artist confessions. But I literally put out the tweet like, yo, I cannot mix or master music. Like, for me, it's not difficult, but it's just like I can do it. I mastered Container Funk, but like, when it came to Bailey Park, I was just like, all right, no, stay in school. You got this.
Music is hard.
I think my vaporwave artist confession is like I just don't listen to that much vaporwave in my free time. I listen to like you just need to clear your palette. If all you listen to is vaporwave, all your music's gonna just like sound like
literally
that.
No lie.
So it's important to diversify what you're listening to. Give your brain a break.
Definitely. So yeah, like I said though, it was great having you on, and I really appreciate you. So, didn't you do what was the other podcast you did?
Sleep paralysis.
Sleep paralysis. Yeah. It was in my head. It was either sleep paralysis or After Death Television. I don't think After Death Television has a podcast. So yeah, sleep paralysis. Yeah, I remember that. Okay. But yeah, thank you for coming on ours.
Not to be confused with sleep paralysis.
Oh, thank you for having me. It was cool to, hear your guys' voices and get a sense of what you guys are like.
We're humans.
Been a pleasure.
We're humans.
I'm excited to listen to the episodes you do after this one with different artists and see where your project goes.
We got some
cool people.
We got some big plans.
We got some cool people on next. No spoilers.
Yeah.
Awesome.
No spoilers.
But
VaporKitteh Bandcamp, VaporKitteh Twitter, hopefully in the description.
Hopefully.
Go follow.
Yeah, hopefully I'm not a lazy.
Titan does his job.
Hey, I do my job every other podcast. Why would this time be different? But
I don't know, man. After this podcast experience, I don't know if those links are gonna make it.
I feel bullied. I feel pressure.
Copying and pasting is difficult.
It's a lot of work.
More difficult.
You gotta hit the button.
If it helps, I have a link tree that actually links to everything you might want, including my SoundCloud, Bandcamp,
just send
YouTube.
It to me
I'll drop it in the Discord.
Yeah, that helps a lot better than just going, okay, let me just go to VaporKitteh's Twitter. And her,
if you like it.
And her Instagram.
Let me make it easy for you guys.
Yeah, if you like Ocean Grunge, check out VaporKitteh. And
if you just like
music, be on the lookout.
Just
be on the lookout. Yeah.
If you like music in general, check out VaporKitteh. She's a really nice person as well.
Aw.
New album on Water's End. Look out for that.
I don't know why. I expect everybody in Vaporwave just to be rude. I don't know why. They're not either.
Why?
They're not
the
either.
Vast majority of people have been. No, the vast majority of people are really have been really nice, and if people are being rude, they're doing it in private. Because I mostly haven't come across it, and honestly, why? Just be nice to people, whatever.
Definitely,
it's easier.
Yeah, just live by that.
Yeah,
it's easier every time.
That's true. Ooh, I got a big yawn. Ooh, yeah. That's it.
All right, guys. Well, in closing, thank you for having me on. I do have a new album, Sleep Paralysis, which will be premiering on the Private Suite live stream. I'm on August 9th, Sunday at, I hope I don't mess this up, so 12:30 p.m. PST, 2:30 p.m.